You meet someone new, they say their name, you smile, you shake hands, you nod. 2 minutes later, your brain goes blank. Their face is clear, their outfit is clear, even the conversation is clear, but their name gone again. And you start to wonder, what is wrong with me? The truth is, people who forget names easily are not careless, rude, or stupid. In fact, their brains are often doing something far more complex than it looks on the surface. Today, we're going to break down the psychology of people who struggle with names and why this frustrating habit actually says something interesting about how your mind works. First, understand this. A name is one of the thinnest pieces of information your brain ever receives. It's an arbitrary sound with almost no context attached. This is Daniel. This is Aisha. This is John. Your brain hears it once, maybe twice in a noisy environment, while it's also trying to track faces, body language, social cues, and what to say next. Psychologically, your attention system is prioritizing meaning over labels. It cares more about who the person is, how they make you feel, and what you're supposed to do in that moment than about the word attached to them. That's the first trait of people who forget names easily. Your mind is wired for depth, not surface. You remember stories, vibes, facial expressions, and energy. You remember where you met them, what they were wearing, what they said about their job or their pet. You can replay the entire interaction, but the name is missing because your brain sorted it as low importance data. In social psychology, this is a kind of selective encoding. You don't remember less. You remember differently. The second trait is this. You are often in mild social overload when names are exchanged. Think about when most introductions happen. At parties, at work events, in group settings. Your brain is processing noise, movement, first impressions, and the pressure to come across well. That social load quietly hijacks your working memory. So when someone says, "Hi, I'm Mark," your brain hears it, but it doesn't pin it down. It's busy managing micro-anxieties. Do I look awkward? What do I say next? Am I standing weird? You aren't disrespecting the person. You're multitasking under pressure. Third, many people who forget names easily are actually very face and pattern oriented. You may recognize someone instantly from a distance, but still not know what to call them. You're the person who says, "I know you from somewhere," and then lists three possible locations. Your brain excels at mapping visual and situational patterns. Gym, university, former office, friend of a friend. Names, on the other hand, do not have patterns. They are essentially random labels. So your mind latches onto the structured information and lets the random piece fall away. Now here's where it gets deeper. People who forget names often carry quiet guilt and embarrassment about it. You replay moments where someone remembered your name and you didn't remember theirs. You worry they think you don't care. So you overcompensate. You act extra friendly. You avoid using any name at all. You say, "Hey you," or "my guy," or "sis," just to dodge the moment of truth. That behavior is not arrogance. It's a small social defense mechanism. Your brain is trying to protect you from shame. There's another layer most people never notice. Many chronic name forgetters actually have strong internal worlds. While others are completely focused on the outside interaction, a part of your attention is turned inward. You're analyzing, observing, thinking ahead, or even drifting. That inner commentary steals bandwidth from the simple act of hear name, repeat name, store name. You look present, but mentally you're 2 steps ahead in the conversation. So the name gets sacrificed so your mind can keep mapping the bigger picture. But here's the part nobody tells you. The same brain that drops names often excels at long-term, meaningful memory. You might not recall what someone is called, but you remember how they felt the day their project failed. You remember that your coworker is afraid of flying, or that the quiet guy in the corner lights up when you ask about his dog. You lock onto emotional details instead of verbal tags. That's not a weakness. That's emotional tracking. Names are shallow hooks. Feelings are deep anchors. So what can you do with this kind of mind? One option is forcing techniques, repeating the name, using it in a sentence, linking it to an image. Those help. But there's something more important first. Stop turning this into a moral failure. Forgetting a name is not proof that you don't care. It's proof that your brain is ranking other information as more meaningful, sometimes in a fraction of a second. When you drop the self-attack, you actually free up more cognitive space to remember better next time. Now the question turns back to you. When you forget someone's name, what's really happening in your head? Are you overwhelmed by the environment? Distracted by your own thoughts? Focused on making them feel comfortable? Or simply tuned into their energy more than their label? Once you notice your pattern, you can work with your brain instead of against it. Because in the end, this isn't just about names. It's about how you move through social reality. Some people are natural label keepers. They remember birthdays, middle names, and job titles effortlessly. Others, like you, are quiet pattern readers, emotional archivists, and deep observers who lose the label but keep the person. You don't have to become someone else. You just have to understand your wiring. So let's be honest. Do you forget names all the time but remember everything else about a person? And if that's you, does it make you feel rude, anxious, or just amused at this quirk your brain has? Tell me in the comments which one sounds more like you. If this made you see your mind a little differently, save this video or share it with someone who always says, "I'm so bad with names." And if you want more psychology like this, hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive.